Meanwhile, today, tens of thousands are expected to rally nationwide, including right here in downtown LA. The hands-off protest at Pershing Square is just one of over 1,000 demonstrations planned across the nation today. Organizers say the tariffs, layoffs, and cost of living hikes are pushing working Americans to the brink. Democrats argue the tariffs are a tax on working Americans to advance the president's tax cuts.
First, I start by giving all glory and honor to Yahawashi Ba, Yahawashi Ba, Rakakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, but know this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly, feeding the sheep and you brothers and sisters. Tuning in, Shalom, and us, do you know today, this is what's going on across Great Babylon, America. Hands off, okay? And they're talking about the Donald Trump's administration, you know, and the things that people are seeing taking place, and suddenly that fear, okay, is now taking hold of these people. Let's go into the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and starting with verse 10, because we've been telling you, okay, when you start to see these things starting to take place here across the earth, you know, the uproar of the people, earthquakes in various places, you know, and you just starting to see a clash between these nations, you know, we know that our redemption drawing near. So the time of Jacob's trouble is to come, but we, okay, the hopefully elect of Yahshua are going to be saved or dead, and we are seeing everything taking place just as the scripture foretold. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 15, down verse 10, and it reads, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt," which we know this place is known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt, "but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn." This is what you see going on right around Great Babylon, America right now. This is mourning, okay? "And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it." So that foundation of building a wealth, you know, through, you know, taking wealth from other countries and, you know, putting embargoes, you know, you enslaving the children of the Lord, Yahawashi, you know, so-called Black Americans and Latinos whose seed line go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, that you right now, that foundation is crumbling. Okay, but that pride of these people is now starting to dissipate. Continuing, it says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fill through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation." So now you're seeing, you know, just as when people starting to think that they're gonna get on their feet, now you have other problems. Okay, you know, food prices are already getting high for many people, but now with this tariff, because this country is a buyer and not an exporter, you're now starting to see what? Okay, we're about to see things get to take a next a leap, or okay, or miserable, okay, feeling that these people are going to get. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draw at nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." So right now, you can have what is called a trade war going on. We know each country throwing tariffs on the other. Okay, you can have the retaliation against the United States. Okay, that's really fighting right there, you know, with words and economic fight. But this is going to soon, you know, lead into an actual physical fight in which you're going to have, you know, countries rising up against each other with their, you know, machine of war. Now, in this article, you can see here where it says hands off. Protesters tee off against Trump and Musk in hands off rallies across the U.S. And, you know, you can see with the video, you know, how this is taking place. Now, people are blaming, you know, Elon Musk with his Doge, you know, that part of the administration, you know, known as Doge, which is laying off people left and right. Okay, and you can see, you know, a lot of these people got fired from the federal government, you know, different parts of the federal government, you know, lay off or completely shut down. And you see that they're taking money away from, you know, certain institutions like the LGBTQ, you know, a school system, you know, they're attacking the welfare system, social security system, you know, the health system, you know, because we have a nation of people who don't take care of their health, right? You know, they're obese and just unhealthy because all the food product over here, you know, unhealthy and not really meant to really be consumed by people. Okay, let's go to the book of Isaiah 19, starting with verse 1. It reads, "The burden of Egypt," and this is a burden which you see taking place right now. "Behold, the Lord Yahawashi rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, great Babylon, America, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. Take a look around, okay? And as you see with these video clips, okay, these people really, you know, they're panicking. Okay, you had the market that panicked. You know, the S&P went down. You had the Dow Jones go down. Okay, NASDAQ went down, and then this is a global thing, you know, because of what's going on. You got to keep in mind that Great Babylon, America, is the central, you know, or the capital of the earth, so to speak, because, you know, this is where all these nations bring all their products and their good, and we know what eventually is going to take place here when the Lord give that final blow to Great Babylon, America, you know, where these merchants stand off and they watch the plagues that's taking place, and those plagues are starting right now. Make no tarry of it, Jake, okay? And it says, and I will set Egyptians against Egyptians. This is what you're seeing going on, okay? They're fighting, okay? You have the Democrats saying, look what these Republicans are doing. You even have certain Republicans are saying, what the hell is going on here, you know, because they don't understand prophecy, and they don't understand who really is actually calling the shots. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. They're looking back and going, okay, what did we do during the first depression? What did we do each time, you know, we went down, the economy went down? We did this and, you know, made these moves and that moves, and, you know, the market rebounded, blah, 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 you know, but it's not working. It's not working because we're now at the end of the rulership of the so-called white man. So right now he's coming with great wrath, okay, which is going to start off in this economic focus, you know, bringing the people into poverty, which is going to force a lot of the people to bow down to what their solution is going to be, which is the mark of the beast. And eventually you're going to have just, you know, complete anarchy, you know, domestically and internationally, and then it's just going to be a global anarchy that's going to go on. Okay, and it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, which is Donald J. Trump, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts, Yahawashi. Yeah, Donald Trump's been talking about he, you know, would like to go and run for a third term. Okay, a third term. Okay, he's looking for a way to go about that, and who knows? Maybe he may be the one that goes and do the third term, because after he make the mess, he would probably say, well, I have the actual solution. Okay. And, you know, the world's going to just be in complete chaos, especially here in Great Babylon, America. Now, take a look at this video here. This is going to be about 3 minutes long. And listen to some of the words that's coming from these people. And, you know, Thawadah YAHAWAH Ba for us, you know, the hopefully elect of Yahshua, witnessing his work. This is his work. Take a look.
Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Elon Musk has got to go!
Hands off Canada!
Hands off Canada!
Hands off Greenland!
Hands off Greenland!
Only by citizens upholding American values both at home and abroad. And no matter where you're from, whether you're outraged by cuts to humanitarian funding, attacks on long-term...
There's so many funny signs. Turn right. That's right. There's so many good signs here. And that you had a FAFSA program now. Yeah, hard to cheer through those, I know. But they're important.
Hands off Ukraine!
Hands off Ukraine!
Hands off Ukraine!
I get lost around.
We've been at the knee.
Make sure to leave a walk tank on the National Gallery side. And to stay...
The policies Trump is following are a threat to the world as we have come to know it and enjoy it as very privileged Westerners, and it continues to threaten people in other countries around the world. It's not a question of location, it's a question of principle.
His energy that he's encouraging other people to have, that he's kind of the avatar of this hideous energy that has erupted like a boil on on the face of humanity, and we have to pop this boil. And I think the only way really to do it is to talk about his comb over, talk about how fat he is, how gross he is. How anybody could think he's anything other than that is just perplexing, is it not? So, I mean, that's really, I guess everything grows out of that. Everything he represents, it's like if you took the worst of America and shoved it into one body, it would be Donald Trump.
The tariffs this week, or announced just yesterday, I think, hugely damaging to the world order, hugely damaging to this country. So that's just the most recent of a long set of attacks. But you know what he's doing to dismantle the federal government, what he's doing at the border, how he's sending people without due process back to concentration camps in El Salvador. There's a long list of things. But today we really want to send a message of solidarity to our friends and families back in America.
He's a horrible, small-minded person who is easily maneuvered, and the people who are maneuvering him are very, very, very dangerous. And he's very dangerous, but he's a small-minded and not, frankly, very smart person. So no, I hope. I don't know what to hope. I just hope this is over soon. He's now.
The Trump regime is turning its backs on. Threatening.
Yes, that's true. Well, actually, they're probably not.
Because Donald Trump is nothing but a hands-off the UK.
Hands off the UK!
It's ended the program to track abducted Ukrainian children, so we now have no record. Continue that work.
And as you saw in that video, you know, this is what's happening. Okay, you have people right now, for once in their life, are now getting a reality check that misery isn't only a color thing. Okay, you see, when we, you know, the so-called blacks march in the streets begging for peace and begging for a slice of the pie, or begging to not be put to death, you know, thrown in prison and given a fair chance here to survive in Great Babylon, America, a lot of these same people that you see out there, okay, and I'm talking about you Edomites, okay, in particular, you know, they pretend as if racism didn't exist and none of these things exist, but now here they are, and now they want Jakes, okay, which only the 2/3 is gonna go frolic with these people, you know, join hands with them and go, we're all in the same boat, we all having the same problem. Okay, this misery and this destruction needs to take place in order for the elect to be delivered. Yes, the hopefully elect of Yahshua is gonna go through the fire, okay, but we've been promised, okay, Lord willing, I'm part of that number, to be delivered out of it, to be taken through the fire out of adversity, but delivered out of it. The rest of you people are really on your own, okay, if the Lord Yahawashi is not covering you. This is the book of Mark 3, and verse 23 it reads, and this is the Mashiach, yeah, speaking, because he knew these, you know, they was trying to trap him and call him the devil, and, you know, they hated him, okay, and he told them this. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? You know, telling the disciples, I'm like, you know, these people, you know, they're clashing with each other and stuff. They're all in disagreement because everybody's trying to promote themselves. Okay, you seeing this taking place right now. Okay, and if a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. This is what you're seeing right now, a divided kingdom. And if a house be divided by itself against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but had an end, and there's going to be an end to Great Babylon, America real soon, because they are divided. Let's go into Proverbs 29:2. It reads, when the righteous are in authority, clearly the righteous are not in authority, the people rejoice. Nobody's rejoicing. Okay, the only people rejoicing right now are the servants of Yahawashi, Yahawashi Mashiach, who are seeing with our own eyes what's written in this book is coming to pass, okay? Even though we walk in the flesh, and yes, we're going to face some issues, but Lord willing, you know, we're part of the elect that's going to be delivered. It says, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And we have told you who the wicked are. and they're bearing rule, and the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. And so what do you expect? Okay, Trump is doing exactly what we expect him to do. These wicked crackers, these wicked rich men, okay, hidden, okay, and putting out the order to go do these things. This is what they were created to do. So they're doing their job. Let's close with the book of Isaiah 24 and start verse 10. It reads, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is crying for wine in the streets, and all joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Yeah. When you go back only a few years ago, you know, this place was just, you know, unstoppable. And now take a look at these people. Yet still, through all of this, they're not going to stop doing the gay parade and all the other wicked things that they're doing. And that's another lesson I'd like to go into. Okay? Lord willing, the elect was edified. I'd like to close up by giving all glory and honor to Yahawashi Ba, Yahawashi Ba, Rakakadash. Shalom.